What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today we are going to react to a video from PragerU titled, "Why do you hate conservatives?" PragerU's going to tell us why you hate conservatives. Let's get into it.
Why do you hate conservatives?
I don't, Emma.
Well,
I don't.
let's not say hate. Let's say dislike, because you don't really hate anyone. You may dislike them because they want to ban abortion. Conservatives say they're all for freedom, but when it comes to a woman's freedom to choose what she wants to do with her own body, they sing a different tune. You may dislike them because they oppress people of color and deny the fact that America is systemically racist. Conservatives say that everybody is equal regardless of race, and that racism has little to no effect on the daily lives of people of color. So, they just ignore the issue altogether. You may dislike them because they don't believe in climate change. Scientists keep telling us we're overheating the planet, and conservatives don't seem to care. They're more concerned about profits than people. But what good is money if you have no planet to spend it on? You may dislike them because they're obsessed with guns. How are we ever going to stop gun violence if we don't get guns off the streets? And how are we ever going to get guns off the streets if conservatives block every common-sense gun law? You may dislike them because they're so intolerant. What's the harm of calling somebody by their preferred pronouns? Why can't conservatives just show some compassion instead of obsessing over every kind of behavior they don't like? You may dislike them because if they got their way, they'd get rid of democracy and establish an authoritarian theocracy.
Do y'all even know what that really means? Because I hear this used a lot, as well as the term fascist and fascism. They always be throwing that term out there. They be like, "You're a fascist, you're a fascist." Because I remember I looked up that term, because I heard it so much from people on the left, and I'd be like, I feel like y'all are using that very incorrectly. And then when I looked it up, I realized that they were using that incorrectly. So, let's actually look this up. Authoritarian theocracy. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I couldn't even find the definition of this. Like, there's a definition for authoritarian, and there's a definition for theocracy. But if you type in, what is an authoritarian theocracy, nothing comes up. And then when you type in the definition or what it means, nothing comes up for like this as a word together. All right, whatever. We gonna finish the video.
Bye-bye separation of church and state. Hello fascism. After all that, you might sum up conservatives with one word. Ugh. If any of this resonates with you, I get it. I've been there. But, and this surprised me, I found they actually have reasons for thinking the way they do. Here are some of them.
Yeah,
on
get
abortion.
into it, Amala.
To start, we can agree that no one likes abortion. But there is a clear divide on the issue. Progressives focus their attention on the mother. Conservatives, while they have compassion for the mother, focus their attention on the baby. They see a human being growing in a mother's womb as innocent and vulnerable. Those babies deserve to be protected, since they obviously can't protect themselves. On racism.
Also, to go back onto the abortion thing where she said we view the baby as a person and they deserve to be protected. They do. They do. I'll say this. If you are not conservative, or maybe you in the middle, you lean left, whatever it is, right? And you believe like, oh, I'm not pro-life, I'm pro-choice. If that's you, I would highly recommend watching an actual video of an abortion. Like what actually happens, what they end up doing to the baby, because it is a baby that's inside of there. It's not a clump of cells like they tell y'all. Watch an actual video about that. I think Living Waters has a video on their channel about it, but watch the video. If you could watch that video and you still have that same frame of thinking, okay. That's just me trying to get you to see the other side of the fence. But if you still feel how you feel, you just feel how you feel.
Conservatives don't deny that racist people exist, but when it comes to the narrative of systemic racism, conservatives are unconvinced. Of course, there are disparities in this country, but why assume that these disparities are because of racism? Good schools, good parents, good habits, and good communities would go much further toward alleviating poverty and expanding opportunity than a lifetime of racial justice movements.
I agree.
By the way, these rules apply to everyone, regardless of skin color. On climate change, conservatives have very little faith in computer models that have been inaccurately predicting disaster for nearly half a century.
Facts. Facts. I've been hearing about climate change wrecking my life since I was a child. And funnily enough, the people older than me have told me the same things. They'd be like, yeah, we heard about this in the 80s. We heard about this in the 70s. It's like, okay, so when is this happening? Because that's all we hear about is climate change.
Conservatives have a lot of faith, however, in human ingenuity to overcome climate. What is air conditioning but a human adaptation to the environment? See Miami or Phoenix for further reference. This is not to say we should simply do nothing. Nuclear power, for example, holds so much promise as a renewable and safe energy source. Conservatives don't understand why environmentalists oppose it. It makes them skeptical and suspicious that the real agenda behind the environmentalist movement is not saving the planet, but giving more power to the government to control people's lives.
Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all about that nuclear comment thing she just stated. I would not want to live in that small town that has that nuclear power plant. I'm just saying. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere near that reactor because we already know what happened. If something messes up, man, that town is gone. All right? Imagine a Homer Simpson working up in a real life.
Where's the snooze button? Oh, that's better.
Town would be destroyed. Nah, I'm cool on that. I agree with you about the climate change thing, but I'm cool on the nuclear power part of that.
On guns, we all want to live in a safe society.
Facts.
This is why firearms are regulated in every state.
Facts.
But we know bad guys will always find a way to get guns.
Facts.
See Chicago and Baltimore for further reference. That's why conservatives want guns, to protect themselves from the bad guys.
Also, if somebody really wants to harm you, they're gonna harm you regardless. Somebody just shot somebody with a bow and arrow inside like a Walmart or something. My mom read the article to me the other day. If they really want to get you, what was it? It was 2 kids in my Christian group was telling me how it is in the UK. They said a lot of people over there get stabbed because of the gun laws, or it's hard to get guns. I'm not 100% sure on what goes on in the UK. I'm from America, but based on what they said, most people get stabbed with knives, or you get acid thrown on your face. That's what they said. I didn't say that. I didn't make that up. I'm just telling you what the people in my group told me. So yeah, if somebody really wants to get to you, it don't matter if they got a gun or not.
It's not much more complicated than that. On tolerance, conservatives see tolerance as a two-way street. If someone demands to be addressed by certain pronouns and considers it intolerant if you don't comply, conservatives wonder why that isn't intolerant. Why are a conservative's moral or religious beliefs less worthy of respect than anyone else's?
Facts.
On authoritarianism, whenever conservatives win political power, they're typically trying to cut taxes and regulations, make the government smaller, and bolster constitutional freedoms like that of speech and religion. That doesn't sound very authoritarian, does it? Progressive policy almost always raises taxes, expands regulations, increases the size of government, and now curtails free speech. To a conservative, that sounds authoritarian.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Y'all are never going to understand that tax part until you start making like a lot of money. So, and don't get me wrong, trust me, grew up poor. So, when I remember my first jobs and leading up into like where I am now in life. So, when you think you making some money, right? You be like, yeah, I'm making like $10 an hour. I got it. And then you see taxes come out. You be like, whoa, they taxing me too hard. In reality, the people who make way more than you, they're the ones being taxed. Like, they're the ones taking it. You know what I'm saying? That's why with, what was I going to say? With Republicans in power, they be trying to cut taxes for the rich, because like you just get taxed too much. But it's not just the rich. Everybody gets that benefit in some form or fashion. But, you know.
Now that you've heard a few of their arguments, do you dislike conservatives less than you did before? Not even a little? I'm Amala Epinobi, host of Unapologetic at PragerU.com for Prager University.
That was a good video. If you hate conservatives, did this video help clear anything up on like how conservatives think, or you know, or maybe you don't and you just like me watching this and you be like, yep, that's facts right there. I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video, and to stay up to date with everything I do, make sure periodically you just hit the community tabs right here on my channel. So with that being said, You already know who it is. It's Sang.